Did you know that you don't always need to use articles in Spanish? You heard right. As you remember, Spanish articles are quite different from English articles. In Spanish, we make a distinction between male or female nouns. For example, la cama is simply bed or the bed in English. Or el carro is just the car in English. As you've learned Spanish, you have seen the importance of articles and you've made your efforts to use them correctly. However, in this video, you will see that there are exceptions to this particular rule. But before we dive into this fascinating topic, remember that you can improve your learning journey by watching our weekly videos. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our amazing content. Ready to change the way you see articles in Spanish? There are 7 situations when you need to omit articles in Spanish, and we'll walk you through each and every one of them. Situation 1. Whenever you talk about yourself or someone else, you may describe their identity, meaning you talk about nationality, religion, or a profession. Check this example. Juli es maestra means Julie is a teacher. As you see, in English, we do use articles for professions, but in Spanish, we don't. Let's see some more examples. Mi mamá es abogada means my mom is a lawyer. Mi papá es cocinero, which means my dad is a cook. Ethan es escritor would be Ethan is a writer. As you know, in English, we omit this article when talking about religion. Well, it's the same in Spanish. Let's take a look. Miguel es católico. This means Miguel is Catholic. In this case, both expressions have the same structure. When talking about nationality, we also tend to omit the article in English, right? We say, I am Guatemalan. The same thing happens in Spanish. We say, yo soy guatemalteca. It would be incorrect to say, yo soy una guatemalteca. Ella es italiana. Would be, she is Italian. Both languages avoid the article in this case. Situation 2, date and months. Whenever you want to mention a specific date or month, you do not need to use an article. Let's look at this case. Hoy es 13 de agosto. As you see, there is no need to add an article. Mañana es jueves. No article needed. Let's think. How would you say my birthday is not until October? Exactly. Mi cumpleaños no es sino hasta octubre. That one was easy, right? Don't worry. You'll see every situation is just as simple. Situation 3. If I ask you to tell me what is your favorite city, what would you say? Good. Your sentence probably went something like, Mi ciudad favorita es Nueva York, right? As you see, with proper names, we don't use articles in Spanish. Look at these examples. Quiero visitar Argentina. No article there. Mi autora favorita es Isabel Allende. Now, what if I ask, who is your favorite superhero? I bet your answer is similar to, Mi superhéroe favorito es Capitán América. Be aware, this specific rule does not apply to rivers, lakes, and mountains. For example, visité el lago de Atitlán, which means I visited Lake Atitlán. Quiero conocer el río Motagua, meaning I want to see the Motagua River. Mira, es el volcán de fuego, would mean, look, it's the volcán de fuego. Wasn't that interesting? If you're enjoying this lesson as much as I am, be sure to practice these important exceptions as much as possible. At Homeschool Spanish Academy, you can have amazing classes with native Spanish-speaking teachers. Our Guatemalan teachers are here to make you the most fluent speaker possible. Sign up for a free trial class and improve your Spanish today. Situation 4. After the verb haber. You've encountered this verb a few times by now, right? Remember that it has many translations to English, but in this particular situation, we will use it as there is or there are. Let's take a look. Hay fila para pagar would mean there is a line for checkout. Hay diferencia entre inglés y español. That very true statement would be, there is a difference between English and Spanish. No hay comida en el refrigerador. As you see, comida is a singular noun, but you do not need to use an article. Next up, situation 5, numerals of titles. History has given us important characters, and some of them have outstanding names, like El Rey Jorge VI fue rey de 1936 a 1952. Juan Pablo II fue un papa popular. Enrique VIII gobernó Inglaterra por 36 años. Situation 6, unspecified quantity. If you're referring to a plural noun, but you are not using a specific number, you don't need to use articles. Let's check out this example. Tomé fotografías geniales ayer. As you see, there is a plural noun, but you are not specifying a number of photographs. Me gusta escribir historias. You are just talking about stories in general without mentioning a number. Te invito a ver películas el viernes. You are not telling your friend how many movies you will watch. It could be 2, or it could be a whole marathon. And drum roll please, we've gotten to the last situation. Situation 7. Remember Spanish infinitives? Exactly. Those verbs ending in AR, ER, or IR, like comer, jugar, cantar. When you use an infinitive as the subject of a sentence, there is no need to add an article. Yes, just like when you're using gerunds as subjects in the sentence in English. For example, leer es muy entretenido. This means reading is quite entertaining. As you see, these verbs don't need articles. Want to see some more examples? Escribir es liberador. Writing is liberating. Hacer ejercicio es bueno para tu salud. Ver televisión es aburrido. Now you know that even if articles are an important part of Spanish, it's not necessary to use them in specific cases. These awesome rules will make you more fluent and sound like a natural to your Spanish-speaking friends. Again, the 7 situations are identity, date and months, proper names, after haber, numerals of titles, unspecified quantities, and noun in the infinitive. Can you remember them all? What was the situation when not to use articles that surprised you the most? Let us know all about it in the comments below. We also want to know if you think you are ready to have a conversation in Spanish after everything you've learned. Tell us about your experiences when encountering Spanish speakers too. Learning a new language can be pretty tricky at times, but we are here to make it simple and fun. Master the use of definite and indefinite articles in Spanish by visiting this awesome blog post. And be sure to watch more and more of our videos. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to our channel, and click that notification bell to never miss the best Spanish content on the web.